Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of A Brew For 2 podcast. I'm your host, Brad, along with my co-host, Derek.
Hello.
We're not actually around each other today.
No.
Usually when we do this podcast, we're sitting across the table from each other, talking into our microphones.
Yeah.
But today we are not. Today we are in the comfort of our own homes. Why is that, you ask? Well, because our premier Doug Ford has ordered a stay-at-home order.
Yeah.
So,
and like in March, it's not that we weren't following a stay-at-home order. It's just, we weren't around anybody else, so it kind of seemed like, okay, well, we can hang out anyways. But now it's, you don't know what people will do.
No, you don't know what people do. You don't know where they go.
There's some people having family over in Welland, I guess. There's like 8 people in the house, which I understand that fact, but I guess all 8 people got fines. So
yeah, you can't have, like, if you live by yourself, you can only have the company of, pardon me, you can only have the company of one other person from another household.
Yeah.
Other than that,
and I don't think you can even. I think you can go to someone else's house. I don't think they can even come to yours. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but
I'm not sure exactly how that works. I think I'm pretty sure they can come over.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you live by yourself, they can come join you. I'm pretty sure that's the rule. So I don't know how long the stay-at-home order is going to last.
I got a feeling like hopefully another week. I'm hoping, because like people are not happy about this, especially in Ontario.
People are not happy about this at all. No. I'm not happy about this. You're not happy about this. Bill's not happy about this.
No.
Like, people want to live their lives now. Like,
yeah.
People want to start getting vaccines.
Yeah, and we are just rolling them out slower than molasses here in Ontario and Canada in general. Like, the states are already at I think I'd said like 11 million. I think last week. I think they're way higher than that now. UK's like doing 200,000 vaccines a day. We're doing 14,000.
And there's like a rumor. There's a rumor that the general public might not get it until August.
That's the plan. That's literally their rollout plan on their site. Until August 2021, the general public will not be able to just go and get a vaccine, which is ridiculous.
I actually a friend of mine, Valerie, she was talking to me, and she already has her vaccine. She already got hers.
Oh, she works in the homes, right?
She's a PSW, so she's already gotten her vaccine. And she was talking to me, and she's like, "Brad, I'm so nervous to get it." And like, I don't like needles, and I'm like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's a needle. You're gonna get some stuff, and it's gonna be fine. And then she was talking to me later, like, "Brad, my arm hurts so much." And I'm like, it's just like the flu vaccine, right? When you get vaccinated for the flu, your arm hurts a little bit afterwards.
Yeah.
My aunt has got it too. So I know a couple people who've had the vaccine. My aunt's got it.
Yeah.
My aunt works in the health field also as an ultrasound technician.
Okay.
Who are those people? There's a word for those people that look at babies.
I could not tell you. I can look it up, but
she works. Basically, that's my aunt's job. Well, she's retired now, but she's only casual now. She looks at babies in mommy's tummies.
Sonographer.
Pardon?
Ultrasonographer or sonography? Ultrasonographer, I think it's called.
Yeah, so she works. So because she works in the health field, also that she got her vaccine, and we're probably, me and you are probably not too far away from getting our vaccines either.
No, I mean, well, I think it says like March, so we're still like over a month and a bit away until we can actually get them, which is still ridiculous. But
actually, my mom told me last night. She's like, "Hey, Brad, did you hear that CUPE gave Premier Doug Ford a letter?" I'm like, "Really? CUPE gave Doug Ford a letter?" It's really? Like, yeah, they're all saying, oh, there's something spilled on my table here. Don't know what.
I don't know. Us Bill is probably where he sits, right?
Yeah, it's where Bill sits.
Probably pop or beer or something.
No, it doesn't look like beer or pop. It looks more like
sauce.
Whatever he was eating there. No, you know what? No, I was sitting there a couple of days ago. I think it was me because I think it was definitely me. I was eating Harvey's over there. In Bill's spot, I was eating Harvey's. And
okay. And you spilled shit everywhere?
No, I didn't even spill anything. That's the thing. I didn't spill anything. I just don't know where the stains come from. Well, but apparently QP has given, back to what we were talking about, QP has been given Ford a letter saying the EAs and ECEs and the people that are working that are back to work shouldn't be back to work.
No, there's no reason for it. Not when all the elementary schools are all closed. Like you guys, like all the teachers are gone. There's no like I was saying to you, like even last week, like it doesn't make any sense why you guys even went back in the first place. Like you said, there's 5 people in the school. Is that including the principal?
Okay, so there's
like I've heard like the staff goes.
There's principal, vice principal. There's a secretary. There's 3 EAs.
Yeah.
Well, there was 2 EAs and about 2 supplies this week. That might change next week. There was my ERT there, so there was probably like 8 people in the building with 2 students.
Yeah, so there's 6 people, like 6 staff, and then the 2 students, like, which is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'd rather be working online from home rather than working online at school because I also have a student that I work online with in the morning.
Yeah, and then of course he found out you were at the school, and now the mother's like, "Well, why can't my kid go to school?" Like, well, because you can learn online. So
yeah, there was a kid who brought his dog to the playground to play fetch.
Yeah.
And I called the secretary and she kicked him off the property because you can't come on the property.
Oh no, like unless you obviously work there or you're a student going to school there, like you should not be anywhere near the property at all.
Well, I understand if you're going on the property on weekends because there's nobody there and there's a playground that's wide open with a gate and fence and you let your dog. I understand going on weekends, but not during school. So I just called.
I mean, she also could have not like realized that the school was still open, right? Because even if like there's a school in Thorold that I pass that, I mean, there's like two vehicles usually in the parking lot. I don't know if it's open. I don't know if any kids are there or anybody like what you do, and like I don't know if any the special needs kids are there, right? So. But you wouldn't know unless you actually walked inside, right?
What did Bill Bill posted something the other day where it was just like, I guess like the Tim Hortons on Niagara on the Lake had to put up a sign because I guess tourists were parking there, thinking it was okay if I just walk into Tim Hortons, grab a donut, and then walk around Niagara on the Lake for free without having to pay for parking.
I don't know. When did he post that? Do you remember?
A couple of days ago. It was this week. He posted it on Snapchat. Yeah.
Oh, on Snapchat. Okay, I don't.
Yeah, you don't have Snapchat anymore. But he posted. I guess he was at the Tim Hortons on Niagara on the Lake. Yeah. I guess tourists were parking at Tim Hortons, buying something, and then leaving their cars there and just walking down the street, which is
ridiculous because nothing's open down there anyway.
So I think Tim Hortons had to put a sign up saying 15-minute parking limit or something.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't see it because I was there yesterday. For work, I had to go to Niagara Lake for work, so I stopped at that Tim Hortons to grab a coffee on my way out to St. David's. I don't remember even seeing a sign there, but I probably just didn't really pay attention actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. But yeah, so we, like I said before, we're doing the podcast a little differently. Yeah. Derek's in his bedroom. I'm in my basement at the table in my basement. It used to be my old kitchen table, but now I guess it's now just a table in my basement that.
Yeah, it's just easier to do this way until we know what the fuck's going on with this lock-in bullshit because literally anybody can call anybody, or any neighbor can call on their neighbor and obviously be a bit of a dickhead if it's like one person, but
yeah, which which like I don't think like you don't think this is where trust comes in. This is where like it's like how well do you trust your neighbors?
Yeah, I don't trust any of mine. So I don't know about your neighbors.
I trust a lot of my neighbors, but however, I trust a lot of my neighbors. However, my neighborhood has changed in the last like 10 years. In the last 5 years, my neighborhood has changed. So not even in the last 5 to 10 years, my neighborhood has changed a lot. There's new people that have moved in. There's old people that moved out. Like it started with my dad when he lost his job in Thorold and then had to move to Brandon, Manitoba.
Yeah.
And then like my parents' friends from like down the street moved out, and then everybody's just started to move, and now I don't really know my neighborhood anymore.
Yeah.
Now I'm just kind of like I'm always on like now like I live here by myself. I'm always on edge now because I'm just
you just never know, right? That's the thing.
Like freaking like my next door neighbor, she's a sweet, nice old lady. She has yappy dogs, but nice old lady.
Yeah, yappy is like an understatement.
her dogs are super sweet though, and like she has a husband who comes down every once in a while to see her, and like but she has sons, and one of her sons is like always like throwing parties, like used to throw parties there and stuff.
Yeah.
My mom told me, I never saw any, but like I just don't know who's around my neighborhood anymore. So like
that's the problem, right?
My neighbors, I trust my neighbors, and it's always like there's a bystander syndrome where like you see somebody getting beat up. You see somebody getting beat up around a crowd of people, and you always think, oh, somebody will call the cops on that guy.
Yeah, but realistically, no one will. Or someone might, but it's pretty low statistically, actually.
Yeah. So, and that's what kind of the thinking I'm having, where your neighbors know you have people over, so they're probably thinking, oh, somebody's probably going to call on them.
Yeah, but then of course you don't know. It could be that one person that's like, oh, well, they have people over. Well, why can't I have people over? Well, let's ruin their fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and
last thing any of us need is a $880 fine, which is still ridiculous. Also.
Yeah. And I don't. And like my neighbor across, like you said last night, the only neighbor I don't really trust because I don't really talk to him.
Yeah.
Is my neighbor across the street. And
unfortunately, they are elderly people, so it's you know, you don't know, you just don't know if they're gonna decide to be dicks one day. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Been going over your house since March, but they all it also just takes one day where they're like, yeah, you know what? No, we can't have people over. Nah, neither can you.
Yeah,
the rest of your neighbors are fine because I mean, most of your neighbors like never even see them, or they're not at home. Like,
no. What have you been up to this week, though?
Crap all, really. Just work. Wow, and what did I watch this week? Oh, I actually watched WandaVision today. I watched the first 2 episodes.
How did you like WandaVision?
It's interesting. It's weird.
It's like a sitcom, really.
Yeah, I know. I get what they're going for, but it's also very weird. And like the endings of the episode are weird.
That's happening to Wanda. It's all in her mind, right? It's all,
yeah.
It's all in her mind. So, because like as you know, Vision is dead.
Yeah.
And
very, very dead.
Yeah. So this is all going on in her mind. It's only like the first 2 episodes, so it hasn't really. Disney Plus only released the first 2 episodes, and what I found out is after WandaVision is done, it's probably gonna be finished in March, probably a week before March 19th. And why do I say a week before March 19th? Because on March 19th, which is a Friday, Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the WandaVision episodes are only 30 minutes long because I think that's the perfect length for them.
Yeah, 30 minutes is fine for those episodes, especially the way they are. Like I like this little sitcom vibe it has, but it's also just kind of a bit hard to just watch.
I find it pretty difficult to watch. I'm only watching it though because I know there's going to be a payoff at the end. Yeah,
that's the only reason why I watched it. I literally logged on the Disney Plus today because I was like, oh, I hope I still have it because then I can watch it because I totally forgot that it was coming out. Mm-hmm. And then I watched both episodes this morning. So
Yeah, I watched both episodes yesterday, and I was just like, and like I'm not I'm not really a big fan, but like I said, I'm just waiting for the payoff at the end.
Yeah, that's
all.
that's the only reason I'm even bothering watching it.
Exactly. I'm on to season 9 of Supernatural now.
Oh, there you go. Have you got to the bunker yet? Is season 9 the bunker?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know about the mental letters then.
Yeah, CW has a thing of everybody needs a base.
Yeah.
Everybody needs, that's a CW thing because like Supernatural has been on the air. Well, it's finally finished, but it was on the air for 15 years, from 2005 to 2020. Yeah. CW wasn't a thing back in 2005. I don't think.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think CW was a thing yet, and like Supernatural was still being presented on like WB or Fox or something like that. I don't know what the original title of it was, but and then because same thing with Smallville. Smallville was from 2001 to 2011.
Yeah.
And like when you first watch those first couple seasons of Smallville, you don't really see the CW logo at all. But then in the later seasons, you start to seeing the CW logo.
Yeah.
So with Supernatural, yeah, so CW always has like everybody needs a base. And I think about season 8, season 9, season 8-ish, season 9. So season 9 was 2014.
Yeah.
So around there, so CW was already probably out, I think, for like 5 years at that point.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it's an American channel, so.
Which is weird that it's American because all their shows are filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thought that one through. Like, why are they not a Canadian company? Like,
well, like Supernatural was filmed there, The Flash, Arrow was filmed there, Smallville was filmed there. Like,
I think Deadpool was filmed there too, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure Deadpool was filmed there. There's a lot of places filmed there.
A lot of shows and movies.
I'm on Supernatural season 9. I'm about to be on season 10 because I'm already on like episode I think season 9 episode like 16.
Yeah, you still got like 4 or 5 episodes, 6 episodes.
Yeah. So I'll probably be on season 10 by the end of today. And and because I have nothing else to do, because my Xbox finally died on me.
So you looking to get into PS5 or what are you doing?
Probably going to get a PS5. Yeah. Probably going to get a PS5 once they come back in stock.
Yeah, it's got to keep an eye on Best Buy or whatnot.
Yeah, because like usually when it would crash on me, I would unplug it, wait 30 seconds, and then plug it back in, turn it on, and it would either crash on me again or it would come back to life. And I was doing that last night, and then I'm just like unplugged it. Well, I tried to turn it on last night and it wouldn't even turn on. Like, so I'm just like, okay, that's odd. So because it usually, before it crashes, it usually turns on and then it crashes. But like I'm just like, okay, it's doing this again. Okay. So I unplugged it, waited 30 seconds, plugged it back in. I turned it on. The light came on, but then it turned off right away. Like it wasn't even, the light came on, but it turned off right away. So then I tried it again. And then I'm like, same thing happened where it would turn off right away. And it was just like, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I think it's done. I think 2015 to 2021, that's 6 years I've had that thing. So
yeah, you've had it a long time. It's definitely put its time in. Like,
yeah. So, and now, now I can catch, now I can watch some shows. I know Disenchantment.
Yeah, literally. I think literally today, wasn't it?
Season 3 came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of watching that. I've been kind of watching that also because Supernatural. I'm watching Supernatural, but it's kind of a filler for me because it's a filler until a new show comes out. And so Disenchantment's out, so I'm watching that. It's on season 3. It's already off to a funny start. And maybe I'll finally turn on History of Swear Words, which is with Nicolas Cage.
It's so funny. It's so funny. The first episode is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I bet it is. It kind of reminds me of like Drunk History a little bit.
Have you seen any clips of it yet?
No, not yet.
The first episode is Nicolas Cage, and it's on the history of the word fuck.
Oh, I have seen a clip of it then.
So fucking funny.
So funny.
Yeah, that one of him like yelling. Yeah, you've probably seen it.
But yeah, and then like I got some packages today and a new record by Orville Peck.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's all that's been going on with me. I might also there's a new movie out on Amazon Prime. It's called Something in Miami. And it's a period piece with Muhammad Ali and stuff like that. And yeah, it's kind of cool. It's created by Regina King. So I check that out too later because I'm probably going to get bored of Supernatural. Like I was saying to my date, Supernatural, like I got through Smallville in like 10 seasons in 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, Smallville is different though because Smallville you were watching like when you weren't working, right? I think, weren't you? Wasn't it summer?
No, I was still working.
Oh yeah, that's right too. Yeah, it was like September to like fucking December or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I got through Smallville pretty quickly because.
Well, you binged the hell out of that show, and I think it's only like 30-minute episodes, isn't it?
No, it's 40.
Really, 40? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the same length as Supernatural.
Yeah.
But like for Supernatural, it's just like, oh, Sam and Dean are in the car again. Oh, they're going places. Oh, they're fighting monsters. Oh, we're gonna do that again next episode.
Yeah,
it's just
it repeats itself a lot. But
you know what I came to a conclusion of while watching Supernatural. I think Sam and Dean Winchester are our generation's Bo and Luke Duke.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, just without like the massive male following.
Yeah,
it's just the opposite, basically.
With the massive female following, yeah. But like they have a signature car that they drive around in. Like they're brothers instead of cousins, and they drive around cars and getting into shenanigans and stuff. It's like,
yeah, no, I mean it's very similar, but there's not really any like female antagonist.
I saw a clip in like in a season. I saw a clip on TikTok from a season that I'm not even on yet, where Dean's on stage singing the anthem to Dukes of Hazzard. I'm pretty sure.
That's not a clip from that was just like a interview thing. Yeah, panel thing. Yeah, that's not. No, that's.
I'm pretty sure it was in an episode. It didn't look like a panel thing.
There's so many clips on there that are from like just panels and shit, so it's kind of hard to distinguish.
I don't think it was a panel. It actually looked like it was filmed in an episode.
Well, it could also been a blooper. So there's also that.
It might have been a blooper. But it looked like they were at a bar. Sam and Dean were at a bar, and Dean and and there was a country band playing and singing the theme song to Dukes of Hazzard. And Dean goes on stage, and the guy's like singing it, and then he's like, "You know the words, Dean," and then Dean starts singing it. I don't know. I saw it on TikTok though. And then he's like, "Just the good old boys."
I sent you a link there on Facebook. That's the Best Buy Twitter. That's apparently where they're gonna post when they have more PS5s and whatnot in stock.
Well, I clicked. So
there's a newsletter.
There's a button on Amazon that said, "Hey, if you want updates for the PS5, click here."
Oh, you're buying it off Amazon?
Well, I don't know where I'm buying it. I'm probably, it's just whatever.
Yeah, whatever comes up first, basically.
Basically, yeah. Where is it here? Yeah, basically whatever comes up first.
Yeah. It'll probably end up being Amazon realistically, but I probably not. Amazon.
I know there was when PS5 came out, there was people privately selling their PS5s for like $1,000.
Oh yeah, well that's scalpers, right? They bought like 6 or 7 consoles, and then they're selling them like double and triple the price because they're assholes.
Exactly.
That shit should be illegal. Like it's you should literally get time in jail, I think. because that's ridiculous.
That's
probably a little extreme, but something should be done with them.
Yeah, exactly. So shall we get into the news? What our listeners have been waiting for. So first up, in a bit of news, we're getting a Sopranos prequel. I never watched The Sopranos because it was kind of before my time.
My mom was obsessed with it. I've dabbled here.
It wasn't before our time, but me and you were young kids when it came out.
Yeah. Like
so we weren't really watching HBO yet.
I dabble a bit on it because it is on HBO. Like when I had Crave, like I started watching a little bit of it, but it's a good show. I just never really got super into it. But
I love Wise Guy stuff. So for those of you who don't know, The Sopranos was a series on HBO from 1999 to 2007. It followed the life of a man named Tony Soprano, played by the late great James Gandolfini, who has passed away years ago. He starts out kind of like a mob's working man, working his way up to the top of the mob. The show has had a controversial ending in the year 2007 when it cut to black. Brian and Stewie made fun of it at that New Year's Eve, that next year's Emmys.
Yeah.
They hosted it, and they hosted the Emmys that year. I think it was 2008. And it was like, and they actually was like, they're like, oh, the Sopranos had the year's best finale, and then they cut to black.
Literally.
But that's enough about the show's past. The show's future, however, is going to be a prequel. It's gonna be called The Many Saints of New York. It was already supposed to be released on HBO Max and in theaters. But it was supposed to be released in fall of 2020. However, due to the global pandemic, the new release date is September 24th, 2021. It will be released on HBO Max and in theaters. The movie will provide an insight of the early years of Tony Soprano in Newark, New Jersey, and it will be set in 1967 during the riots and deal with race tensions. So black and white race tensions. I think this is going to be a cool movie. I thought it was going to be a series at first when I was first reading about it.
That's what I thought. That's kind of what I thought when you had brought it up yesterday. I mean, I think this would be cool. I know my mom's going to love this because she loves Tony Soprano. So
your mom's a big Sopranos fan?
Yeah. So she's going to absolutely just love that. So
like we said, that was the first thing that came to the news portion of our podcast, because that was the first thing I saw. Like I was like, hey, Sopranos, that's kind of cool. And it's also kind of takes away from what we usually talk about, and which is because that's where movie news is going now, because of big blockbuster movies like Deadpool and Captain America, which are coming up soon. But let's keep talking about the Sopranos for a hot minute. So like I said, I wasn't a big Sopranos fan growing up, but now I'll probably watch it at some point, because
if I get Crave back, I'll watch it again. I'll watch it, but it's one of those shows where I think it's like very just set in its times. I know it's a very interesting show because a lot of people obviously love it, but
but this Many Saints of Newark seems interesting to me because it's gonna be a period piece, and I love period pieces. I love the show Peaky Blinders, even though I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
I love the show. It's just like I'm always just watching too much at the time.
Yeah, you definitely after you're done Supernatural, you definitely got to sit down and watch Peaky Blinders. It's such a good show.
Yeah. So, but I love that style, where when they're filming period pieces, they get the costumes right, they get how everybody's dressed, everything's right and stuff.
Did you ever finish that Hollywood show?
Pardon?
Did you ever finish Hollywood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was a weird show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's set in 1967, so you're gonna have I don't really know what the fashion was like in that period of time, but
I don't know. My parents weren't even born yet, so
my parents were they weren't even 10 yet.
Yeah, my mom was born in 70, and my dad was born in 68, so
Yeah,
they weren't even born yet.
Like, race for anybody who like was around that time, like is really gonna love the show because it's like
Well, if you like the Sopranos show, I think you're gonna love this movie. I'm also just curious, like, are they gonna do the same thing? Like, is Amazon gonna be like, "Yo, we got you guys" when it comes out?
Probably.
Unless HBO Max happens to actually get its shit together, which I mean is very unlikely, but
yeah, it's very unlikely. But hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. But that's coming to a theater near you and to a platform, a streaming platform near you.
Well, ooh. You're America, then not so much us.
Not much us. In other news, so we mentioned that I tend to like stay away from this because there's a little bit too much comic book movie news. However, Captain America is back.
There's been a lot of it lately, actually, to be honest. So
yeah, there has, and I try to steer away from it because there's just so much. This is like,
but like, it's the stuff we enjoy, right? So like, if we didn't talk about it, I think it'd be a bit weird.
Yeah, exactly. So we have not seen the last of Chris Evans as Captain America after all, as the actor is reportedly in talks with Marvel to reprise the role in the upcoming Marvel project. In an upcoming Marvel project. According to Deadline, Evans hasn't yet officially signed on, but the two sides are close to finalizing a deal to bring back Steve Rogers and at least one Marvel property with the door open for a second film.
Yeah.
Per reports, Evans is potentially to return to the MCU wouldn't be for a new Captain America movie. Rather, his role would be much more comparable to Robert Downey Jr., appearing in other MCU movies like The Avengers and Spider-Man Homecoming after Iron Man 3.
I mean, yeah, sure. I think that's the only way they can do it, because they can't really just be like, "Hey, you actually came back from the past." So there you go.
I think they're going to have Chris Evans do another Disney Plus Captain America series where you see him like kind of jumping through time and doing espionage stuff. Like,
yeah, I think that would actually be really cool. I really do. I think that would be fun.
Maybe. Well, the filming is done for Falcon and Winter Soldier, but there's going to be probably a Falcon and Winter Soldier season. Well, they can't really do that because he's old man Steve Rogers in that universe now, so can't really do that. But like they can do like anytime somebody goes back to the past. As we know, Multiverse of Madness is coming, and I don't think at some point, and I don't think they're finished filming just yet. I don't think they're finished filming just yet. So because of that, he might appear in that because the Multiverse of Madness. There might be a multiverse Captain America who.
Yeah. I wouldn't put that past him. Like I really, if he's not in multiverse, I'd be kind of surprised because there's gonna be a universe where like he doesn't go back in time and doesn't return the stones, or there's gonna be a universe where like the snap never happened and Thanos never happened or something like that, right? So.
And like, who's to say like the article just says he's coming back as Captain America, but who's to say he's actually coming back as Captain America? Maybe he'll just come back as Steve Rogers. Maybe he's a Steve Rogers, everyday normal guy. Like,
maybe, but then like he'd just be like little scrawny little boy. So like I don't know.
Or like maybe he's still like Captain America, Jack, but he's kind of like Clark Kent at the end of Smallville, where like. Because you know how last year DC did its big multiverse Arrowverse multiverse
the collaboration, I guess, crossover,
and like they had freaking Tom Welling, who plays Clark Kent in Smallville, make a cameo appearance where he's like giving up his Superman powers.
Yeah.
But he's still like strong. He's still a strong dude. So maybe they do something like that with Captain America, being like popping up in like, and in any movie he would pop up in, it would probably be Spider-Man, probably be a Spider-Man movie, or maybe it's Chris Evans, but he's not actually Steve Rogers. He's maybe a Skrull and made to look like Steve Rogers. Maybe it's that. Who knows? Who knows where they're going with this?
I don't know. I'll be excited to see him put the costume back on again, though. So I'm fine with really whatever they do. I hope it's good.
Maybe they do the Hail Hydra storyline for a bit.
Maybe, yeah.
Where he's evil, but he's not like the main focus of the movie. But he's just evil.
Yeah, it's very possible. They can go really literally any way with it, right? So it's there's not really any set like lore for this, so they can do whatever the hell they want, really.
So a little bit away from comic book news and more into story news. So you remember that Amazon Prime is eventually going to release a Lord of the Rings TV series.
Yeah, I think it was announced like 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got some updates. So ever since Amazon Studio announced that they will be creating a new fantasy series based on the world of Lord of the Rings created by J.R.R. Tolkien, fans have been eager to discover the details of the story for the show. Now, the OneRing.net has released a description for the upcoming series that they confirm is authentic and accurate. This epic drama is set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and will take viewers back to an era in which great powers were forged, kingdoms rose to glory, and fell to ruin. Unlikely heroes were tested, hope hung by the finest threads, and greatest villains that ever flowed from Tolkien's pen threatened to cover all the world in darkness. Beginning in a time of relative peace, the series follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared reemergence of evil to Middle-earth. Fear the darkest depths of the misty mountains to the majestic forest of the elf capital Lindon, to the breathtaking island kingdom of I'm gonna pronounce
Numenor.
Numenor?
Yeah.
Oh, to the furthest reaches of
Pretty
the map.
straightforward, to be honest.
Well, it was that accent over the U. This kingdom and characters will carve out legacies that live on long and forever after they're gone. So I'm pumped for this series.
Been waiting for this for like 2 years, so like
it's gonna be Amazon Prime's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be good because they're spending a lot of money on it.
I mean, yeah, that's usually hopefully the way it goes, but I hope it's good. I like Lord of the Rings a lot, so
I do too. I'm kind of curious on like if anybody's gonna return.
Well, the thing is, like, they could have technically they could have Legolas come back. We're probably gonna see a lot of the elves that we know from the series come back
before Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. So
but they've been around longer than anybody.
I guess
they're immortal, right? So they've been around for a very long time. We don't know exactly how long, but they've been around for a very long. Well, there's probably some information of like how long they've actually been around, but they were around for a long time.
And technically, like there has been no reports that Ian McKellen's going to come back as Gandalf, but technically he could come back too.
He could
because Gandalf is Gandalf, Saruman, Galadriel, and who's the other guy? Radagast.
Yeah,
and
Radagast.
Technically, they're all angels. They're all J.R.R. Tolkien's version of angels, or he calls them something else. I forget what he calls them, but like they're angels that have taken a vessel.
Is Palando is one. Saruman, Gandalf, Radagast, Alatar, and Palando. I don't know who Palando is.
Well, there was three. Well,
we've seen
Gandalf,
3 of them. Yeah. We've seen 3 of them.
Gandalf, and then there was like the 2 blue wizards that didn't come down with them, but they didn't come down to Middle Earth, but they went across the sea.
Yeah, that's Alatar and Palando.
Yeah,
they're the 2 blue wizards. They're the ones we obviously didn't see in any of the movies. We've seen Radagast, Saruman, and Gandalf, but about it.
Did you know J.R.R. Tolkien wrote God in his story?
Did he really?
Yeah, he wrote because there is a guy named Tom Bombadil. Do you recognize the name Tom Bombadil? No, he wasn't in the movies. He was just in the books.
Okay.
Well, Tom Bombadil actually he was in one movie, but that was nobody talks about that movie for some reason. I don't know why nobody talks about it, but he was in the 1977 cartoon Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah, no one talks about that one. It's bad. It's so. Have you ever seen it?
I've seen it.
It's so bad.
My grandma bought it for me and my sister as kids, and we had it in the camp for the longest time.
Oh God.
But Tom Bombadil is basically God because everybody talks about, oh, there's this guy, Tom Bombadil, and he lives in the forest and he talks to trees and he talks to nature and all of that stuff. Yeah. And the One Ring doesn't have effect on him.
Yeah.
So basically, like, because he talks to nature and because he talks to nature and has that influence, he's basically J.R.R. Tolkien's version of God, which when I was hearing the description of Tom Bombadil, some guy described Tom Bombadil, I kind of was like, you know what? Because I'm watching Supernatural right now, I'm like, that's basically Chuck.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. He writes stories and stuff like that. Lives in a cabin in the woods, kind of keeps to himself.
Yeah.
Like the One Ring doesn't have the One Ring affects everybody except Tom Bombadil. He kind of looks at it, kind of like, huh, what's this? Tosses it, like doesn't care. Like so, Tom Bombadil. There's a couple of there was a TikTok guy I follow who dissects Lord of the Rings, and that's what he does. And that's what he dissected is Tom Bombadil. Like the wizards are the angels, and Tom Bombadil is basically God. And like the fellowship of the hobbits are basically J.R.R. Tolkien and his buddies growing up.
Yeah, that I know. That I remember. That I know. Which is really cool.
But I can't wait for this series to come out. I know a while ago they were looking for extras for that series.
That'd be so fun.
well, their banner was, "Are you a weird looking person? If you're a weird looking person, come you're a weird looking person. Come be an extra on the Lord of the Rings TV series." So, but who knows what we're gonna get? We might get like Galadriel. We might get freaking Hugo Weaving's character. I forget his name.
Aragorn?
No, that was Aragorn was the other guy. Hugo Weaving.
Oh yes, yeah.
Elrond.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, we don't know how. Like, I don't know how old Lord Elrond was, but I'm gonna look this up now. But he could have been around. He's about 6,500 years old, so yeah, he could very well have been around.
But I think they're gonna focus on the new casting characters.
Maybe, but I think like having cameos from like some of the older people,
like
from the movies and
like Ian McKellen could make an appearance as Gandalf.
Good. That's what I mean. Like he could make it just like a kind of a cameo appearance. Like he just kind of pops in one episode and then he's gone. You don't see him again.
The only person that can't make a cameo appearance is Saruman because Christopher Lee passed away not a couple years ago.
Yeah. That's the only one that couldn't. I think everybody else is still alive.
I saw a TikTok video of him and he was kind of younger.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and he didn't have like gray hair and the beard yet. And I'm like, I didn't even recognize him because like I'm just used to seeing Count Dooku and Saruman, that white hair and the white beard. And I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm so not used to seeing Christopher Lee young again. Like, because we've always known him as an old man.
Even Revenge of the Sith was 15 years ago, right? So he was already old. He was old then.
Well, he passed away. He passed away at like 98.
Yeah.
When he finally kicked the bucket, he was like in his 90s, and he looked pretty good for his 90s.
Yeah.
So our next bit of news. So that was it for Lord of the Rings TV show.
Yep.
Our next bit of news is a gaming news. Lucasfilm Gaming. A new era of Lucasfilm gaming is on the way. Disney has launched a new division, Lucasfilm Games, which will be the new home for all Lucasfilm games in the future. This includes Star Wars and any other brands housed under the company banner. Though Star Wars is undoubtedly the marquee name in this case, and the tree that will undoubtedly produce the most fruit in the years to come, the announcement was made via the official Star Wars website. A sizzle reel trailer was also revealed to showcase the names. Lucasfilm Games has launched a social channel on Twitter and Facebook. The social channels will deliver breaking news and more directly to fans per Lucasfilm. The announcement states that the logo will appear on all future Lucasfilm game titles. The following was said in the reveal explaining the decision. Lucasfilm's legacy in gaming stretches back decades. And now Lucasfilm and the galaxy far, far away are entering a new, unprecedented phase of creativity. So will the world of Lucasfilm games, developed in collaboration with the finest studios across the industry. So the Lucasfilm logo will now appear in games of like Fallen Order, Squadrons, Galaxy of Heroes, The Old Republic, and Lego Star Wars. So Lucasfilm Gaming, that it's always been around. Pardon me, Derek. I'm gonna.
Yeah. No problem. Lucasfilm's been around for a very long time. They did all the original Star Wars games. They did everything in Star Wars because that's obviously part of LucasArts.
Yeah.
Or was LucasArts, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was LucasArts.
Lucasfilm Gaming, LucasArts. Star Wars Battlefront. There would always be the LucasArts logo. Jedi Academy, always LucasArts logo. The Old Republic for the platforms before the Old Republic became a basically Old Republic became this RuneScape-like game, Star Wars RuneScape-like game for Star Wars fans.
Literally, yeah. Like that's literally the one game that everyone's like, yeah, can you please bring that back?
Yeah. But like all these games had LucasArts, but now it's going to be called Lucasfilms Gaming, rebranded for all future Star Wars games and any other games under that tree. Fallen Order, great game.
Fantastic game, yeah.
It's going to come out with a sequel eventually. Lego Star Wars. I love playing the Lego Star Wars games.
Any of the Lego games in general were a lot of fun. Like,
oh yeah, I stopped liking the Lego games though because they started putting dialogue in the Lego games.
Yeah, that kind of threw it off a little bit.
Like the Lego games are fun because you can make your own dialogue. Like there's a TikTok channel. Another mention of TikTok. I mentioned TikTok a lot this podcast. There's another TikTok channel of these guys just like fucking around on Lego Star Wars, making their own dialogue, doing shit. I'm like, man, if I used to do this as a kid. If I I used to do this as a kid. Yeah. Now, if I did it as an adult, it would be weird. But like I used to do this stuff as a kid.
I still play their games, so like I can't say much. Like I have on my computer, I got the Harry Potter games, like years 1 to 4 and 5 to 7, and then I had the Lego movie game.
I had Lego Star Wars, and I think that was it. That was the only Lego game I had.
Yeah.
I might have had Lego Harry Potter as well. I'm not sure.
I definitely had like Harry Potter way back in the day when they first came out. I had them. But they remade them for like on PC, so I got them all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I only had Lego Star Wars because I think those were the only fun ones for me.
Yeah.
Like because like you went through doorways to go to different levels.
Yeah,
it was always fun. But yeah, Lucasfilm Gaming, it's new brand, so it's a new brand brought to you by Disney.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I am hoping that they actually bring back or do a remake or a remaster or just a whole new like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I hope they do something with that IP because that would be fantastic. I know a lot of people would be very happy about that.
That would be fantastic. So this is kind of a segue. So we're segueing here because we're talking about Lucasfilm Gaming. You know what's another game that might be under the Lucasfilm tree? Indiana Jones. You're giving me a weird look right there.
Yeah, because Bethesda has nothing to do with Disney or any of them.
But but George Lucas made Indiana Jones along with
Steven
Spielberg.
Yeah.
So that could be under the Lucasfilm banner, even though it's a Bethesda game. They might.
It's possible, but I think Lucasfilms is going to be more of a not a publisher, but a developer. They're not going to be more. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
They might have to just put a logo on it saying
possibly.
Yeah. Because when you turn on a video game, it's full of logos that you don't care about because you're just wanting to get to the game.
Yeah, you literally just hit skip. Just skip it. Let me skip it. Let me skip it.
So Bethesda is making an Indiana Jones game. So an Indiana Jones game made by Machine Games and executive produced by Todd Howard is in development, according to a surprise teaser Bethesda Softworks tweeted Tuesday morning. The teaser is light on details such as launch date or window or platform. But there's no mistake, this is an Indiana Jones game. This year, Lucasfilm will celebrate the 40th anniversary of Raiders of the Lost Ark premiere. The follow-up tweet from Bethesda said Todd Howard, creative director of Bethesda Game Studios, would serve as executive producer for the untitled game. It will feature an original story that isn't an adaptation of the earlier one. The new Indiana Jones game with original story is in development from our studio at Machine Gun Games and will be executive produced by Todd Howard in collaboration with at Lucasfilm Games. It'll be some time before we have more to reveal, but we are very excited to share today's news. The game has been planned for PlayStation 3, and the game had been planned, had been planned for PS3 and Xbox 360, and development was said to be fairly advanced stage in 2008 when LucasArts abruptly canceled the project from these platforms. Pardon me. On Monday, Lucasfilms announced that Lucasfilm Gaming label would now accompany all video game adaptations of Lucasfilm properties. Going forward, this would seem to be the first game going out with that branding. So we're getting an Indiana Jones game.
Yeah. It'd be made by Bethesda. I mean, Bethesda does have a bit of a interesting history when it comes to games, but...
Like, what do you mean interesting history?
Oh, they did the Fallout series. They did the Skyrim games. They've done the Doom games. They've both been the publisher for them.
Oh, okay, I see.
So they did Fallout 76 most recently, as far as like those games go. And
so do you think with those game histories, do you think it would be a first person kind of game?
It'll probably be first person or third person. It'll be just a story game. It won't be like an open world game or anything. Unless they decide to do that, I don't know. Because it's Indiana Jones though, so I just don't know if they're going to be.
I think if they did an open world Indiana Jones open world game, I think that would be very much so, because Indiana Jones was always traveling places.
Yeah, I just don't know, because like it depends what they're going to do. Like, is there more lore in the Indiana Jones universe that we don't know about? Like besides the stuff that he did for the movies, right?
Well, Indiana Jones is just an archaeologist.
No, I know that.
So he's digging up things, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, they could make like some sort of like archaeology game, or well, not even archaeology, or not even an archaeology game, just a game where he travels the world and uncovers shit, and then has to defeat enemies. I don't know.
But we're also that's kind of like Uncharted almost.
Exactly right. So it's going to be kind of weird. That's the thing. If they wouldn't follow any like the story of the movies or any of that kind of stuff, then it's basically another Uncharted game.
Yeah,
that's what Nathan Drake is. Nathan Drake was supposed to be Indiana Jones.
Yeah, which they said it's going to be an original story. It's not going to be there might be nods to the movies in the games, but it's not going to be a game based on Raiders or based on Temple or based on Last Crusade.
Yeah,
you're not going to be in that game looking for the Ark of the Covenant or looking for the Holy Grail. You're going to be in that game probably, or looking for the existence of aliens, which nobody talks about that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it does well. I hope it comes out and it does great. But
I hope it does well too.
I think it's just going to be too similar to Uncharted.
Yeah.
As far as a game, like, because it's basically the same premise, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. Also, there's not really any announcements really of it. It's just they've just said it's in development. We don't know when it's actually coming out.
No, we don't know when it's coming out. They said it was going to be the first game under the new logo of Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
Gaming, and pretty much all we heard. So who knows where they're going to go.
Or if it even comes out. Honestly, we don't know. It could just get canned halfway through.
Again,
because it was canned in 2008. So,
yeah. And our final bit of news: Deadpool 3 is coming out, and it's going to be in the MCU. So it's going to be a while before we see Ryan Reynolds back as the titular vigilante in Deadpool 3. But a long-awaited sequel will be a part of the MCU when it finally arrives. Hold on. Give me a minute. Pardon me. There will be an rated R movie, and we are working on a script right now. And Ryan is overseeing. We're working on the script right now, and Ryan Reynolds is overseeing that script. It will not be filming this year because they've got a lot on their plate right now with the MCU. We've got a number of things that we've already announced that we now have to make, but it's exciting for it to have begun. Again, a very different type of character in MCU, and Ryan is a force of nature, which is just awesome to see him bring a character to life. With a number of Marvel projects already in the works, there are simply not enough there's not going to be enough time to shoot Deadpool 3 in 2021. Next year will be the earliest the sequel can begin filming, meaning you'll not likely see theaters to 2023 or later, which is kind of good because don't rush it right now because we're in a kind of pandemic. Let's wait.
I mean, even if they wanted to, even if they could rush it, right? They can't even release it because where's it going to go? The theaters? Because theaters aren't open.
Exactly.
So then this is definitely something we want more of. So we definitely do not want it to flounder. So hopefully,
and it's going to be rated R. It's going to be rated R, which it should be.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like Deadpool, if of any of the Marvel heroes or anti-heroes, whatever you want to call them, he has to be R rated. Like he can't.
Well, there's actually two heroes / anti-heroes that I think of when it comes to rated R. Deadpool and Blade.
Yeah, but we are supposed to be getting a Blade movie. I mean, we haven't really had any news of that actually in a while.
No, Mahershala Ali is playing Blade.
Yeah, we know that, but that's all we know. We don't even know if they've even started filming or if there's a script made or anything so far, actually.
But now because of Deadpool 3's R rating, now fans want Blade to be R rated.
Yeah.
So that's. I don't even know when Blade's coming, but Deadpool 3 is coming, and it's going to be part of the MCU. So Ryan Reynolds is going to bring in hijinks to the MCU even more so.
It looks like the last little bit of news we got for Blade, like 2020, like November. It looks like it isn't scheduled for release until around 2022. So it should be before this, but we'll see what happens. That's the last bit of news we got of it so far, but that's also from a site called Inverse.com. I don't know if it's actually a reputable site, but
Deadpool, but it's exciting. It's exciting that Deadpool 3 is back.
Yeah, we knew it was coming. Like, it was just a matter of time. It's just a matter of like.
Well, if Disney didn't buy Fox, then we would have gotten a Deadpool movie last year or this year, or possibly the year after.
We had just gotten Deadpool 2 though, right? Like,
well, Deadpool 1 came out 2016.
Yeah, we got Deadpool 2 in 2018.
2018. Yeah. So we would have gotten Deadpool 3 either 2021 or 2022.
Yeah, we were on like basically a 2-year cycle when it came to the movies, but
Yeah.
I'm happy they're not rushing it. Like, don't rush it. Make this good, because like these movies have been just they're like the John Wick movies. Like every single movie is just absolutely fantastic.
And Ryan Reynolds is doing the script, which it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And with him in the MCU now, he's gonna be popping up on other Marvel movies.
Oh, 100%. He's gonna be just a weird little cameo. He'll be sitting like drinking coffee or something in the background, like as like people are like getting killed or something. Like,
yeah, we just drinking a coffee. What the fuck was that? Okay, just
he's just sitting there just reading the paper. Someone just goes flying past him, just puts the paper down, just like the fuck. Yeah. Anyways, it'll be hilarious.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Yeah. But with that being said, that's it for our news portion. And now we go to the on this day in film and television history. And today in 1960, on this day in 1962, the shooting begins on Dr. No, the first James Bond film, where James Bond was played by the late great Sean Connery. And in 1973, for those Western fans, NBC presents the 440th and final showing of Bonanza. So for those Western fans.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Not much going on in games. For me personally, the first expansion for World of Warcraft came out 14 years ago, so that's fun.
Oh.
The Burning Crusade, so. Other than that, not much.
Not much?
No.
Yeah. Well, I think this brings this podcast to an end. So you can follow me and Derek and I on social media. We're at Gingerfin. We're at A Gingerfin 92, and you can follow Derek at King D-Rec.
Yep.
I couldn't remember if it was the Lazy D-Rec or King D-Rec.
That's King D-Rec on everything now. It's been that way for a while now.
And so you can follow him there. You can follow me at Gingerfin 92. You can follow the podcast at A Brew For 2 on Facebook, at A Brew For 2 on Twitter, at A Brew For 2 podcast on Instagram. And with all our plugs done, we are now done. So take it easy, guys. Hopefully me and Derek will do this podcast in person in the next week or two.
Yeah.
Maybe. But other than that, this is how we're gonna do it from now and
until we know what the hell's going on with the lockdown here in Ontario. Like, we just don't know. Yeah. It's not so much us, it's other people right now. So. Yeah.
And with that being said, the podcast is now done. We bid you adieu. See you guys.
Bye.